let me say, I was, by way of introduction, I turned 72 in January, and I retired from the UN 12 years ago. After having held several key positions, the last one was Deputy Regional Director for UNDP Africa region, responsible for 22 countries in Eastern and Southern Africa. And yeah, pardon? Can you hear me? Hello?
We can hear you.
Hello?
What did you?
Sure, this thing.
Loud and clear.
Okay, let me go back.
We hear you clearly, Doc. Go ahead.
Yeah. Are we still on? Can you hear me? I was talking and all of a sudden I couldn't hear.
Hello.
Okay,
Hello.
I'm back. Let's see. Did it load? I tried.
It's still downloading.
Yeah, yeah, as I was saying, I actually I started working on these issues of the link between wellness and leadership ability, success, you know, because of my own personal experiences as a human being and as a senior level employee, you know, in the UN system. So I got very curious about the link, and I actually then invested my pension fund to go and learn about mind-body energy medicine, because I really wanted to know why does it happen that when one is not in good health, how does it affect one's leadership? I'm going to just speak from the slides. I tried to insert it, it's not happening properly. So my presentation, so I came back from the US and established an organization called Maadili Leadership Solutions. And Maadili is a Kiswahili concept, values, ethics, principles. And leadership solutions, because in my extensive working with people in development, donors, so-called donors, government, national governments, you know, people at the local level, and my own staff and myself, I could really see how somehow, for me, the biggest lesson I learned is how important chronic stress is to our lives, and how that actually affects our leadership ability, and ultimately it affects our very survival. So that's why I went to learn. So now I actually share knowledge, skills, and tools on how to discover and unleash your highest potential mind, body, spirit. Because once you are in a good space, and Maadili's value proposition is that when we put you through the basic 5-module course, you actually get you know, knowledge, skills, and tools that will enable you to actually, our value proposition is awareness, consciousness, and mastery. So you are able to work towards mastery. You become your own analyst and your own therapist 24/7. Now, what we have then, I have then found, and what I'm prepared to present to you is actually why, for me, the biggest lesson I learned in life is that self-knowledge is the beginning of all wisdom. And then the other valuable, very valuable lesson I learned is that your health is your greatest asset. If you don't have health, you are not going to succeed. And you can now see, and actually I make a very strong correlation at the end of the presentation, basically showing that the reason people are dying from, people were saying people are dying from COVID is not true. people are not dying from COVID. People are dying from poor health. And I show exactly how this is actually how this happens. And the first thing I share is that your well-being is people, we look at our well-being usually from a physical perspective, but there are 8 aspects of wellness. They are physical, there is social wellness, spiritual wellness, emotional wellness, environmental wellness, financial wellness, intellectual wellness, and career wellness. And usually employees or people who are in public and private sector, they only look at career and they don't look at the other aspects. And I am saying that we need to understand wellness in that broad perspective. And if one aspect of it is not working, then you get into a great deal of trouble. Then I go to show, who are you? Who are you really? And for me, that was a very interesting question. I didn't really know, who am I? If I ask you who you are, you'll tell me your name, your designation, your professional training. But actually, from now having learned about mind, body, energy medicine, you and I are multidimensional beings. We are, on the one hand, mind, body, spirit. And I have a diagram that shows that most of us live in the body, although there is vital force. People are not aware that, for instance, your breath is actually a very important indication of your life. When you are born, you take the first breath. When you die, you take the last breath. But we don't know how to use breath to actually sustain our livelihoods and our lives. And then we have the physical body, which is the body made up of food. And then we have the environment, which I refer to a little later. But basically, in mind, body, spirit, I actually show that most of us are not quite aware of the mind in its different aspects, and how important it is in not only in our wellness, but actually in guiding us towards doing what we do. And then we are spirits. And I show how even those who have difficulty dealing with spirit from a religious perspective, that we look at spirit as that which caused you and I to become where we came from. We take a metaphysical and a quantum physics perspective, but actually recognize that you have a personal soul, where you have seeds and memory of desire. We have collective soul, where we have our beliefs, our myths, our politics, our culture, and all of those affect us at any given time. And then we have universal soul, which is actually that which is the essence of us, which made us, and those things played an important part. When I look at you and I are also parts of elements of nature, the environment. I show how space and air, fire, water, and earth actually combine to make different characteristics and each one of us has those things, but in different proportions. Then I show how you and I are also energy and information. And the picture I use is a person, those of us who learned biology, I don't know if they still teach it these days. You learned about the pituitary gland, the pineal gland, all the way to the digestive glands, adrenal glands, etc. And I show how all of these are actually energy centers, which run through the head all the way through the center of our bodies, and each have their own minds, and they link very intricately to actually influence us. And you and I experience life through energy. When you and I meet, you will know, each one of us has an example of somebody you have met, you never met them before, and you didn't like them at first instance. What does that mean? Our energies do talk. And then I show how within you and I, we have what is then called the subconscious mind, which is actually quite important. And the subconscious mind are those attributes in us, which are the ones that are running the heart, the the bloodstream, everything in the body. You and I do not have to do anything for us to be alive. But then that subconscious mind, in the end, by the time you are 35, it actually is reflected in your body cells. And it records everything. It is always alert and awake. It controls 95% of our lives. So even when you think you are making a conscious decision, a whole 7 seconds before you make that decision, the body has already, is a very efficient computer, look to see how you usually respond, and it gives you the answer. So you wonder, I didn't want to be angry, but how come I got angry at the end? You know, it works on habits. It speaks to you in dreams. And it's very important. It's not logical. It's the feeling mind. And the lesson here is you and I need to actually know how to listen to our bodies and to honor our bodies. They are the most complex computer God gave us, but we have a habit of overriding the bodies. In fact, even like going to the bathroom, how many of us wait until you really, really have to go because you have this and that, which is important to do? And all these have repercussions. Now, when we are not paying attention, all of us actually, over time, you know, you are stressing, especially those of us who are go-getters, you are running here, you are multitasking, you're thriving on stress, and I'm saying there are implications. And the signs of accumulated emotional toxicity include fatigue, irritability, lack of enthusiasm, depression, which most of us deny. All of us have different levels of depression. It's a human condition. It's not a judgment. It needs to be appreciated and addressed. It's a sign that something needs to be healed. And then emotional reactivity, low self-esteem, low productivity, and poor personal and work relationships. And these are actually chemically fueled. Now, I also then show how the unmitigated stress, anxiety, and the lack of meeting of human needs, they cause changes in...
Sorry to tell you, your presentation is ready and Madeline can run it for you. Sorry to disturb you.
Oh, it's ready?
Yes.
Is it ready now? Ah, perfect.
It's ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me then get back to where do I find you again? Yeah, oh, wonderful. There you go. Yes. You know, collaboration, networking. What did that lady say? Our first speaker.
Yes, you
Yes.
simply have to ask for help. That's it.
You see, there you go. And you see Maadili Leadership Solutions, the emblem is Africa, and you have these nurturing arms. I totally believe that in Africa lies the solutions, not only to our own challenges, but actually to the world, because we are in many ways not as evolved as the Western world. We have room to actually grow in a different way, you know, from an alternative way of a more balanced way of looking at life. So I had gone. So how do I move this? I can see it. How do
Madeline
I move?
will
Click.
Madeline will move it for you because it's said.
Oh, okay. So we have spoken to the first. I was. She can then take us through. If you can go to the next slide. This is actually the cover slide.
Just click on the slide on your left so that it plays that one now. The second one.
Technology. Oh gosh. Yeah, in fact, we can go record.
Madeline, can you hear us?
Yeah. Okay, she's gone to the slide on. If you could show the one on the 8 dimensions of wellness, the one before this, please. The one before your mind, body, spirit.
That one.
Yeah.
That one?
Yes. For people to see that actually the wellness is not just physical. Yeah, it is physical, social, spiritual, emotional, environmental, financial, intellectual, career. And so it is important for us to be successful, not only as individuals, even as investors, as women, as leaders. It is very important to actually work on developing these 8 areas of wellness. And when any one of them is out of sync, out of balance, you will feel it in your body, you will feel it in your mind, and it will have an impact on what the kind of work and life that you lead. Let's go to the next one, please. Your mind, body, spirit.
That's where we are at. Not showing there.
The second one, the following slide, please.
This one. This one?
The hourglass. Your mind, body, spirit.
Yes, on my screen it's showing the hourglass. Okay, let me stop sharing then.
Yeah, on mine it's showing still the 8 wheel.
Okay, let me stop sharing, then share again.
Okay.
Sometimes this thing, yeah.
They freeze, yeah. Well, but we've persevered so far. You know, we've done well.
All right.
At least we didn't give up.
Yeah, the hourglass, that's where we are at, right?
There you go. So the one word I want to say here, this is an hourglass shape, and the lesson there is that, you know, in the mind, intellect, and ego, the ego is the one which actually prevents us from being fully realized. You know, awareness, consciousness, mastery is very much blocked by ego. And ego is actually given a bad name, but it was put there with the intention of protecting you and I. It is the did you say something?
No, please, the rest of the people, please be muted if you are not talking, so Mrs. Scholastica can finish her presentation. Thank you. You can continue, Mrs. Scholastica.
Okay, so the most important issue to say here is that usually we live, you know, we have mind, body, spirit, but we have body on top, mind next, and then there's a block between mind, body, and spirit. There's a block, and the thing that blocks us from spirit is actually the ego. And you and I are effectively, you know, eternal spirit beings having a temporary human experience. But because of the way many of us live our lives, we kind of put the spiritual down, and then we live from the body and a bit of the mind. And when we actually take people through this, how to discover and unleash your highest potential mind, body, spirit, it then becomes possible not only to invert the hourglass, so that spirit is actually where you operate from, because that is where you have infinite possibilities for creation and recreation. But also then, if you were to draw 3 circles, mind, body, spirit, they would all be round and not be the way they are at the moment. I think that's as much as I want to say at this point in time. If we can then go to the next, we'll have a chance, I suppose, for questions and discussion, hopefully. The next one, yes. So you are mind, body, spirit, but you and I are also part of the 5 elements of nature. And in the knowledge base that I use for mind, body, energy medicine, we use this one on the principles of Ayurveda. You actually then have space and air form a cluster called Vata. Fire is Pitta, and then water and earth Kapha. When I actually am teaching a class, I would then give people a questionnaire. You fill out the questionnaire, and then you will be able to see which part of you, what percentage of you is Kapha, Pitta, and Vata. And then I would also then tell you what characteristics you have, so that you get a sense of your God-given talents, what you inherited from your parents on the day of conception. This is actually what you got from your genetic material, all the way from your father's side and all the way from your mother's side. It's really fascinating stuff. I have done many personality type questionnaires, but this is the one that really gave me feedback that I live by, you know, on a day-to-day basis. So it's something that I wanted to show you, that there are ways in which you and I are different, but also the same, you know. And when we come to see it in detail, you will actually understand how they all affect us. And then we can go to the next slide, because I know 30 minutes is not a long time and we've lost some time. You and I are also energy and information. And as I was saying, the way our energy speak, you know how they say you enter a room, your aura enters first, your personality enters first. It's actually energy. So if you come with positive energy or negative energy, people can sense it. And these energy centers are based on the glands, the glandular system, and they can actually also, they communicate all the time. They impact on your wellness, and they do get out of balance, and it is also possible to balance them. I will ask you to move on so that we can come to the end, and if people have interest in certain areas, then within the whole area of mind, body, energy, you know, centers, you then have the subconscious mind, which is actually is the automatic nervous system, you know, and it's reflected in your body cells. It is how the body runs without you having to remember to breathe or to remember to, you know, to the body, the blood to run. Yes, you remember to go to the bathroom, but you are not doing anything for you to be alive. But it's very important to be aware, because the subconscious mind is always dropping on you, is dropping on your thoughts. So when you have positive thoughts, it will record those and always give you back what it is. You know, when we say the law of attraction, part of it is this, that how you think is what you become, and it becomes quite important. It's not enough to say, I want to be wealthy, and then in your body you are feeling fear, you are feeling anxious, you don't have self-confidence. Those things do not, you pray, but it does not materialize. And we say, actually, your feelings, the feeling is the prayer. If you want to pray to succeed, you say, you then believe that, ask, believe, receive. And this is really the message to say here. It is very important to actually understand that the subconscious mind is the feeling mind. And we, you know, in some of the cultures, we are not encouraged to feel. And yet feeling is the way that we are created to get through the universe. And if we are able to access our feelings, we are better able to manage ourselves, to actually anticipate the needs of others, and to have better relationships with them, including the networking. So let's go to the next slide. What happens if any or all of these are actually out of balance? You will accumulate emotional toxicity. How will you know? You'll go to bed in the evening feeling quite exhausted. You wake up in the morning, you are feeling even more tired. And you wonder whether or not some sangoma took you at night to go and till her farm and then brought you in the morning, you know. Irritability, something small, you know, irritates you. Lack of enthusiasm, depression, emotional reactivity. When people are overwhelmed, you know, and some quite often where women are blamed that, oh, you know, she's always screaming down the street or down the hall. It's actually a sign that there's overwhelm. Somebody is really stressed. And usually we don't, and because we don't understand, we don't empathize. And when we don't empathize, it creates tension within an office or a home, or even within yourself, and undermines your leadership ability and leadership responsibility. And then low self-esteem, poor personal and work relationships. Moving on, next slide, please. So what happens now? You see, in many workplaces, many companies, many homes, we don't address stress. When stress is not addressed, it results into anxiety. And stress is usually a result of unmet basic human needs. So on the one hand, there's a change in physiology. You increase blood pressure, heart stress, it leads to coronary heart disease. Increased stress hormones, anxiety, insomnia, addictions. Increased blood sugar, diabetes, obesity. Decreased circulation to digestive tract, you get digestive imbalances. And actually the gut, the health of the gut, the stomach, is a very good indicator of your health, of your health and wellness. So the fact that so many of us are on antacids and we are having all sorts of stomach upsets, it tells us that we are not managing stress well and we need to pay attention. Then there is decreased growth and sex hormones, premature aging, decreased immunity, infections and cancer, increase in sticky platelets, heart attacks and strokes. Now let's go down to the next slide. You see, when I have a very specific experience of actually COVID. We have been told that COVID-19 is this big killer which is killing people. Let me show you this. These are what they call the comorbidities, the kind of conditions that make you more susceptible to get infected and die from COVID. Compromised immune system, including through malnutrition, cancer, heart conditions, chronic kidney disease, severe obesity, type 2 diabetes, sickle cell disease, and smoking. Now go back to the previous slide. These things existed before COVID. Yeah. Now I am here to tell you in completely no uncertain terms that people are dying not because of COVID. People are dying because COVID has come to show us very important stresses and strains and challenges, in our system. The people who are dying from COVID, there are people who have any of these diseases that we are talking about here. But people are also dying because of poor, they are not sufficient enough access to health facilities. People do not have health insurance, including in the US where the Obama care was killed and now people are struggling. It shows lack of care. It is really not COVID which is killing people. We should thank COVID for showing all these problems so that we focus on the problem rather than actually the fear. And people who are using COVID to raise fear, they are actually distracting our attention from what we need to. What we need to do is to fix the system so that our people are healthier, and you and I can do something about it. But then to have the consciousness that why are people afraid of COVID? People are afraid of COVID because they're afraid of dying. Now, I am 72 and I got COVID. Let's go to the next slide. And I healed. I am 72. I am obese. Yeah. I have high blood pressure, cholesterol. Yeah. The next slide, please. How I recovered from COVID. See, what is COVID really? COVID is when the virus enters the body, it actually attacks the arteries and the veins. It causes blood clots in the arteries, and then it also causes swelling to the veins. So that it clogs the system, and this is because of when there are blood clots and the vessels are swollen, air cannot pass, oxygen cannot pass. So to have so much emphasis on ICU and ventilators is actually a wrong response, because how do you get oxygen to go through a blocked vein and also go through blood clots? How I recovered from COVID-19 was actually I was given anticoagulants and anti-inflammatories coupled with antibiotics to combat secondary infections. I was given quinine in conjunction with zinc sulfate to protect the healthy cells from being infected. I was a drug that was administered to me for killing pain. I didn't want to mention it so that I'm not promoting one. It's a drug which is a painkiller and also a muscle relaxant. Yeah, and so it would lower the fever, and then the boosting of the body's immune system through high doses of vitamin C, vitamin D3, vitamin K, and a lot of vegetables and fruits and herbs. So that is really what I'm really, what can I say? I'm actually saddened by the fact that so many people are dying, because quite often there is wrong diagnosis. They are not given. If people were given, this is how you get COVID. I mean, the variants they are talking about is something we may talk about in a different meeting, but this is COVID basic. And you see, in all our countries, these are ways in which people who have asthma are treated with this same thing. So I can't believe that there is not enough medication which treats those of us who are asthmatic, that we are not able to administer it. Somehow, we really need to get our heads around the coronavirus so that we are not completely distracted, and we are now looking for systems to address corona, etc., instead of focusing. Have you not wondered why they are talking about how many people are getting sick, how many people are dying? They are not telling us how many people are surviving and what treatment works. And I am here to say that this is treatment that has worked for me at 72, and if it has worked for me, it would work for somebody else. I need to move on so that we can then look at other ways in which you and I can underpin our health, so that you can continue to become even more successful business people and not burn out. The most important, technology, which actually it makes it possible for you and I to transcend, for the physiology to transcend spirituality, is meditation. Now, you and I have been told many things about meditation, and I would encourage you to actually go to the internet and look for scientific, underpinnings of the importance of meditation. And I can tell you, it helps, for instance, the brain function, definitely. It helps to alleviate the mood, cognition, stress reduction, focus, and also gyrification. Gyrification, our brains have got these folds. They've got folded. They are folded. And when the folds open is when you begin to get diseases like Alzheimer's. So meditation helps to actually protect the brain. Moving on, the other ways in which, the energy centers, there are many types of meditations. In fact, there are meditations to manifest stuff. There are meditations to heal the energy centers. There are meditations to, so I just wanted to show you that, when there are 10 benefits of healing the energy centers. You transform your weakness into your strength, give access to financial wisdom, inspiring you to turn dreams into reality, gives you intuition, allows you to express, release emotions in healthy manner, physical and health and well-being, beneficial for spiritual fitness, removes bad energy stored in the body, it detoxes the body, it instills love and joy in one's life, and allows you to know your inner self. Now, I then am finishing by going back to say, wellness is the 8 dimensions of wellness. And I then move on to say what it is that we actually can do, how we can help in Maadili. We have this 5-module signature course where we put people through, and at the end of which one actually then we look at how to know thyself, mind, body, spirit, food as medicine, nourishment for body and mind, for body, mind, and soul, then tools for daily regeneration and perpetual renewal, how to attain emotional freedom or emotional intimacy with yourself, and then how to harness your body's 5 senses for health and wellness. And I would encourage people to find where to go onto our website. I have put the website here. And then the final slide that I want to leave on the screen actually, and or you can send us a WhatsApp message. Yeah, so we at Maadili Leadership Solutions, this butterfly usually flies, but obviously we put it through the gigabyte ringer. It's not flying. But to say, you know, I want to say this to you. What I really discovered is that, first of all, you know, for me, to be able to be in good health is actually to be able to be a good human being, a balanced mind, body, and spirit. These are skills that can be taught. That is what I discovered. This is knowledge that can be taught. There are tools that can help you and I to work on these things. And once you are on that road, I honestly believe, you know, this for me is the best way to also be able to manage the shifting, you know, the changing of mindsets. At the moment, we are in such a fearful mode that we really need to catch a grip and reclaim our sanity. And that sanity can be claimed one person at a time. It starts with you and I. And once it is possible for you to actually discover and unleash your highest potential, mind, body, spirit, it releases your creativity. It enhances self-confidence and self-esteem. You are able to be your own analyst and therapist 24/7. And once you are in that space, you have no need to compete, you know, men or women, black or white, COVID or no COVID, you know. So and it doesn't take much. There is scientific evidence to show if only 1/3 of us in the world are actually able to live differently in these evolved higher levels of consciousness, it's enough to actually affect the energy of the world. Let me leave it there and thank all of you for being so patient with me, and apologize for the whatever that I couldn't do on my side, and appreciate that we have connected, and hope that we will then network beyond this seminar so that we can see how you and I can actually make an impact not only in the lives of women, but in the lives of Africa and the world. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope I spoke very fast. I hope you get some gist of what it is I was trying to say. And thank you, Madeline, for facilitating.
Well, it has been excellent. You've done an awesome, splendid job to elevating us. And what has come to my mind is that when it comes to mind, body, and spirit, we had a lead in our life. But right now, you've just opened up. We're almost out of the box. But there is more that I think we can learn and grow from you. So I can understand why we anxious wanting to present, because wow, that is a lot of information. Well timed at the right time. But I also have a sense that time is not enough. You'd like to share more with us. But Madeline is listening, which means maybe she'll give a special day where it's dedicated to you to empower all the men and whoever is out there for wellness. Thank you one more time. Delegates,
you're welcome.
I would like to say it's been great, and in listening from so many preachers have spoken. And what like I said, if you have a comment or a question, I would like to, because we're looking at time, quickly open your mic and say, you know, this organization, this is my comment, this is my question. I raised such a speaker. Let's go for it. We've got a little time. Somebody start. I'm sure you can speak.
Come on, somebody.
But though while they are thinking, let me continue with you, is that you've made it so clear that You know, sometimes we don't even realize how the world has affected us in terms of our health, the things we put in our body, so we become. And what you're saying is, let's look at what we put in our body. It's putting petrol in diesel, it's gonna crash, and we're doing that.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
The organizers, please, I'd like to crave your indulgence, as I did not realize my system had already disconnected. I actually got to the end of the slides before I realized that.
All right, don't worry, sir. Definitely we'll have another day. I mean, you have a lot of information to share, and we understand that. Thank you for letting us know that that's what happened.
The pleasure is mine. Thank you for the
Thank you,
opportunity.
Doctor. Thank you, Doctor. Delegates, you have knowledge, you have information. Let's not go. We need to network. Let's start talking. If you don't have questions, please, you're on the platform. That form is created for you to network. Choose anybody on the list and begin to talk, begin to connect. The professor from Prague University, she said in Slovenia, it is about talking. It is about asking. It is about serving. Who would you like to serve from today going forward? The platform is open. And I'm sure there's questions. Come on now. I'm looking at you. Don't question yourself. Just ask. Just ask. Let me put it this way. English is not our mother tongue, but hey, let's just use it. Or speak in your language, and the wellness mother here would interpret it. I'm kidding.
The presentation was very clear, so there's nothing to add or subtract. Thank you.
All the presentations, you're saying?
Yes.
All right. Maybe could you, any one of you, could you share what do you think maybe we could host as subjects going for the next event coming up or in future? Just share your thoughts and your ideas, anyone. Based in your environment. Go ahead.
If we can have a presentation on emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence, yes. We're taking notes.
Actually, part of the, if I may say here, part of session 4, when we talk about emotional freedom, emotional intelligence is one of the aspects that we address.
All
it's,
right.
It's
all
one,
right. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's why
we also address how to hold crucial conversations when stakes are high. And we also talk about nonviolent communication.
All right. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. So it is addressed from our perspective, at least it's part of the session 4 on how to attain emotional intimacy with yourself.
Yes.
Because it's to the self. Yeah. Mm.
Okay.
So
all right. Thank you.
A very important subject. Yeah.
That's emotional intelligence coming up. Next. I mean, this presentation must have been so powerful that you are dumbfounded, you've got no words, you're so full, you just want to go and practice this. Huh?
Probably.
We want to go and practice also the IT part of things. So maybe if we can have a presentation on presenting. Did you get that, Will?
All right.
Yeah.
I did.
No, I didn't.
Presentation on presenting, how to present.
Yes, how to present, like especially in this COVID period, the sharing of documents, how you must open the document first for it to be easy to be on the screen, if we can get a session on that.
Oh, we will do that. It's on the list. It's on the list, definitely. Also, let me just say this out loud.
Mrs. Scholastica.
Also, the easiest way, this is for you to take home. When you are going to do a presentation and it's on Zoom, make your document PDF. It becomes smaller and it's easier to run through. Make them PDF.
Ah, okay.
That will always work.
No, point taken.
Thank you. Thank you.
Point taken.
On technology, Dr. Oye, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Doctor,
Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Looking at the technology divide, though we are covering it very well. Across Africa, right now, as we're speaking, you can see that we have had a lot of disparities in terms of communication. What is there? What's happening? Could you advise us in terms of where Africa is going with technology and what advantages we can take from there?
I think technology is fast penetrating across Africa, and you know, the likes of the technology giants, they are making their presence felt everywhere across Africa as of today. In Nigeria, for example, we have local offices for some of the giants like Google, Microsoft, HP, and so on and so forth. So Africa has got a lot to benefit from all of this initiative. And I think what we need to do is to encourage governments in Africa, you know, to evolve with policies that would ensure that organizations feel comfortable in adopting technology in running their day-to-day businesses, and you know, using technology to demystify some of the challenges they might be facing in terms of business management, healthcare delivery, education delivery, and so on and so forth.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. We have a professor from Slovenia. Are you still with us? Well, professor is not there for us. We still have with the parliamentarian, Mam Gwen. Mam Gwen, are you there for me? Or did she leave?
She's not there anymore.
Yes, Ma'am Gwen left. She left.
Ma'am Gwen left. All right. No, thank you for telling me that. All right. I see with our attendees, I've got quite a few ladies and gentlemen, a lot of ladies that have got quite powerful profiles. And I'm hoping that today we will network. We have about 10 minutes before closing time. I would like to open up time for networking. Networking is simple. Tell us about yourself. Type in the group. Share a profile. Whatever you want to tell us, because it's very important. Now we're going to be talking about business to business. You are representing their business. There are services you would like to have, or you wanted to have, or wanted to know about. This is the platform for exactly that. Across borders, we're not worried about cross borders anymore. Technology has made it possible. We are right here. Let me put it this way. This platform is open for you to do business. Speak to Madam Medlin and see how she can enable you. She is an enabler. She's going to be the hands of connecting left and right, up and down, so that there is business services you'd like to deliver in South Africa, in Congo, in Angola, wherever. She is well connected, and I am sure you are well connected. This is the platform. Let's just do business. And I'm sure you're ready for business. Somebody talk to me. I need to hear you guys. I'm sure you talk.
Well,
I thought you
I'm
entire
to hear from
the box.
Okay, I've got two people. So somebody just call out Jane first.
I'm Scholastica. I'm saying I really would like to hear from the participants.
Yes, all right, thank you. There you are. There you are.
Yes. What is their takeaway?
Yes. If they don't want to speak, let me put it this way. They can put it on the chat room, they can type what they are taking away if they don't feel like speaking.
Yes. Yes. I will be checking the chat. In the meantime, I am looking to network with people. I am passionate about sharing this knowledge, skills, and tools with the youth, male and female. Because yeah, definitely male and female. Because the future cannot just be female. The future has to be male and female. Because you know, we are working on trying to make patriarchy. Patriarchy is the system that we've been grappling with. When patriarchy is a system that favors males, but it's a system promoted by women and men, mothers, fathers, grandmothers, the way we bring up our children. So if we are going to change patriarchy, we have to have a conversation between men and women, young and old, so that we can change according to what it is actually good for our societies. And you know, the one, yes, I was going to say one to finish that thought. The one danger of actually just having women only is that first of all we create deeper divisions, and secondly we rob ourselves of the opportunity. This is it's about how we relate. You know, I don't want also to replace patriarchy with matriarchy. It's like racism. You don't want to replace white racism, you know, with black racism. We have higher ambition than that. We want a more humane society. So I'm looking to work with young people who are willing to succeed, not just to make money, but actually to be men and women who are good or humane, you know, who are evolved, who have higher levels of consciousness, who actually can be able to create the Africa that we want. Because if we are going into it with this same mindset of fighting between men and women, or between the races, or between classes, we won't get there. So any place where you have youth who are willing to look at different ways of life, and because youth, their future is now. You know, people of my age, maybe they might be interested in this knowledge for improving their wellness, but the young people, I am here to network with you guys, to give young people different alternative ways of living apart from the one that they are living now, which is really not giving them hope and optimism for the present and future.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, as you're speaking, a thought is running through my mind, and it's like youth and the future of Africa and a wellness subject, and I'm sure Madeline here and I, she will come up with something that will take place on this platform. And thank you for saying you are willing and able, and you'll be able to do that. We thank you one more time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Most welcome.
Okay, there is Victoria in the chat box. Madeline, I can't see that. Could you read for us in the chat box?
I can read it for you. I can see it.
Okay, please.
I am a South African Qualifications Authority, SACA, and NQA and whatever qualifications authority, NTA, Namibia Training Authority, facilitator, assessor, and moderation for business, health and welfare, hospitality and tourism, education, human resources, financial management, and I'm out of breath.
Thank you. Great networking. That's good to take away. Yes, 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 that's right. Yes. Which means I also see us having a session on those, the sector services that cuts across Africa and how to map them, so that sometimes, you know, you come with a course from Kenya, Nigeria, wherever, and South Africa says, "Oh, but we don't trust that." But she's here to say we can map that. This is how we deal with it. Thank you for that information. Much appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Right now, I would like to hand over to Madam Medline. We have about 4 minutes. She'll do the closing remarks, and then we'll be able to be relieved. Madam Medline, over to you.
All right, thank you so much. I would like to really, from the bottom of my heart, to thank all the speakers, Mrs. Scholastica, Professor Professor Dr. Oye from Nigeria, and Mrs. Gwen Matlangu, and even Mr. Senator from Pakistan. Mr. Will, thank you so much. You've done a tremendous work. Thank you for the contribution of everyone. I know today many people have been really challenged with technology. It's one of those days. There are times where we have a meeting quite smoothly, where you know, everybody has you know, necessary connectivity for them to check in. There are times where the connectivity is a challenge, and I think this is really one of the challenges that we will continue to face as a continent, where we need to improve the quality of our connectivity for us to be able to continue to attend virtual meetings and global meetings. And we sincerely believe that as we move to this digital space, we know that we'll become even more connected. Thank you so much for all your input. Thank you so much for all your contribution. I think we've been fed, and like Victoria said, we are just looking forward to go start implementing a lot of skills that we have learned from this platform. Thank you for the recommendations that have been put forward. In terms of future topics, all the topics that we can have in the future. We will consider definitely having more and more topics that empower people. And I agree with Mrs. Scholastica, the future is not, cannot only be female, it's about everyone. It's about us holding hands with men. It's about empowering the youth. It's about really empowering ourselves. And thank you for making yourself vulnerable, Mrs. Scholastica, by sharing with us how you survived COVID, and all the tools, the tips that you have given us. I think these are useful information and tips that we will actually value them, because COVID is here to stay. And I'm sure if one of us actually get caught up with that, we will remember what you have said, and how you fought COVID is actually not the major killer, as you said. It can be overcome. So thank you so much again. And yeah, we will continue to network. As Will was saying, the platform has been created for networking purposes. So there is, if you go to list of attendees, you will be able literally in real time to connect with all the people that have registered for the event, and you'll be able to send them a message or a text, or send them a connection. And even after this meeting, the platform is open. Even after the meeting, just log in, you'll be able to access your past event and all the attendees that attended this event, and you'll be able to connect with them even beyond the live event that we're in. So thank you again for all the time, the sacrifices, and the challenges that you overcame for basically for you to be here until this time. It means that there's resilience, and we're prepared for this conference. Really, from the bottom of my heart, I would like to thank you, and we will continue the conversation. The conversation is not over. It's not only for the month of Women Month. We will continue with various conversations beyond Women Month. And as Mom Scholastica said, is a way for us to make Africa a better place. It's when we hold hands and work together. Thank you so much for everyone. And this, just the last one, the recording will be made available, hopefully in the week, and I will be able to share the link. So you can expect the link, the recording after the technical team have actually made it clean and cut all the unnecessary part. We will be able to share with a wider audience who will benefit from all the knowledge that we have gained here. Thank you so much.
Thank you too, Madeleine, for organizing this. So thank you for being the coordinator, the brain, the passion behind this. And we pray God's grace and power to you so you can continue to innovate and keep this conversation going. Very high commendations and mighty congratulations to you. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Until we meet again, enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you.
And bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.